Hello guys, and welcome back to another video showcasing the beauty that is the AYN Thor. I've had this for just over 48 hours now. I do have some first initial impressions which I'm probably going to save for another video. In this one I'm going to essentially showcase the games that I've loaded on this thing, just to give you an idea of what I want to play and if you guys had any suggestions of games for me to try. So this is using the Cocoon launcher right now, and if you saw my last video guys, Cocoon is a launcher that I recommend when you're first setting this up, just because it's the most fluid, I think so. There are other launchers out there like ESU and ESDE and a couple of others as well, but this is the one I've landed on just because I want it to feel most like a 3DS, because the console resembles a 3DS most. With Cocoon, you can actually pin some games that you're playing to these squares at the start. This is the game I'm playing most so far. This is Soul Silver. So as you can see, I've currently put nearly 5 hours into Soul Silver just playing by itself. It's a really fun game to play, and the emulator of choice is using Melon DS. I'm not going to show the gameplay because I don't want Nintendo to come after me showing gameplay. So this is just Cocoon in general. So Cocoon has like a few apps as well. This is the log of like the games that you've played and for how long you've played it, which is quite nice. So I've been playing quite a few. I've like a lot of Soul Silver, and then I'll just like jump into games to like play and see what they're like. So if we go by system, I've got all the systems here. So let's see what systems I've got. I've got the Game Boy Advance, PS2, Super Nintendo, the Wii, the Dreamcast, PSP, the Game Boy Color, the Gamecube, the Switch, the Game Boy, the DS and the 3DS. And let's just start off with the Game Boy Advance. What games have I got for the Game Boy Advance? So I've got Emerald, and as you can see every game has like nice cover art as well. Mario Kart Super Circuit, Doom of course, Fire Red, Metroid Fusion, Super Mario World 2, Pokemon Leaf Green, which I want to play Leaf Green because I've already played Fire Red, even though they're essentially the same game, but why not? Sonic Advance, Zelda 4 Swords, Viral Land 4, Super Mario Advance, and Zelda the Minish Cap. Again, I want to play all these games at some point, that's why they're all on here. PlayStation 2, we have Prince of Persia, which is one of my favourite childhood games that I used to play way back when. I've completed this many a times and it runs great on the Thor. Gran Turismo 4, Simpsons Hit and Run, which is another game that I absolutely adored when I was a kid, and I'm definitely going to play this one again. Got Street Fighter. So this is Jack 2 Renegade, which hasn't scraped the box art for some reason. I might try rescrape, but we got the Sega Classics, Ratchet and Clank, Kingdom Hearts, and Need for Speed Underground 2. If there's any game suggestions that you think I need on here for a specific console that you're like, oh, why hasn't he got that? Just write it in the comments and I will try my best to get them. We have the Super Nintendo. We have Super Mario World, Street Fighter 2, well, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Mega Man X3, Super Mario All-Stars, Mega Man X2, Kirby Superstar, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Wars 2 Yoshi's Island, Mega Man X, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, Donkey Kong Country 2, A Link to the Past, and Donkey Kong Country. Again, a bunch of classics and a bunch that I cannot wait to play. We have the Wii. The Wii is an interesting one to play on the Thor because the controls for the Wii were like not like a normal controller. So it's a bit interesting to play some of these games with the Wii, but it's still fun. It's still fun to play. So we have classic Mario Kart Wii. We have Modern Warfare Reflex, the Xenoblade Chronicles, Wario Land The Shake Dimension, Wario Land Shake It, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Rayman Origins, Medal of Honor Vanguard, Super Paper Mario, World at War, and Prince of Persia The Forgotten Sands. All games that I cannot wait to play. Dreamcast. There's only a couple for Dreamcast at the moment. Marvel vs. Capcom and Sonic Adventure 2. For some reason, I don't know if anyone has a Thor can advise me on this, but when trying to start a game, because I'm using RetroArch, I don't know if I've got the settings wrong, but I'll click into it and then it will just crash. Like, it doesn't actually open and then it will just crash. So like, I'll even try again and it won't actually open the game for whatever reason. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. Next we have the PSP. Earlier through here we've got Gran Turismo, we have God of War Ghost of Sparta, Jak and Daxter, Resistance Retribution, which I remember playing as a kid, super fun, and Wipeout Pulse. There's a lot more on the PSP that I could add. It's just I want to play the Nintendo ones a lot more than the PSP ones, so I'm more likely to spend more time on those games instead, and Switch ones as well. So we have the Game Boy Color, which includes Crystal, Pokemon Crystal, and Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, because a lot of the games that I want to try on Game Boy and Game Boy Color are already games I've either got on the Game Boy Advance or the DS and 3DS. So I was like, okay, there's no point of getting the Game Boy versions when the other versions are just improved versions of those. We got the GameCube, we got Crash Nitro Kart, which I cannot wait to play again, another game I used to play as a kid. We have Rayman 3, we have Mario Kart Double Dash, and we've got Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Next, we have Nintendo Switch. Now, a lot of the Switch games, I'll be honest, I'm very excited to play. The Thor runs them beautifully, and there's just so many that I haven't played, and that I didn't really want to play on the original Switch, just because the hardware is quite old now. And a lot of the games, the last game I played on there was Pokemon Scarlet, and it ran super laggy, and I was like, this is not a fun experience, and I didn't want to upgrade to like the Switch OLED at the time, because I didn't even know if it had performance improvements. But yeah, right, Switch games. We have Hollow Knight Silksong, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Fire Red Omega, Balatro, Pokemon Violet, because I've already tried Scarlet, so I wanted to try Violet, Metroid Dread, Pokemon Arceus, which is another one I cannot wait to play. Pokemon Legends Z-A, which I can't wait to play. Hollow Knight. So Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong I also can't wait to play, because I've heard they're really good. Super Mario Maker 2, Pokemon Shield. So I did play Pokemon Sword, but I wanted to try Shield. Hades, which I did play for a little bit, and it's really fun, so I really want to continue. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which has like 3 games in one, which is amazing. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I have not played, which is quite crazy to think, but again, I can't wait to play this. We have Breath of the Wild, which I did try this game, guys, when I first got my Switch, and I just haven't continued it, because I explained in my previous videos, I never really had Zelda like as a game growing up when I was a kid, so I don't have that nostalgia attached to it. So because of that, I just never played the Zelda games when they came out. That said, I want to do that from the Game Boy Advance and then moving forward. So yeah, we have the classic Mario Odyssey, one of my favorite games ever, and I'm so glad to be able to play it again. We have Stray, which I've just heard is really good. Little Kitty Big City, which I thought just looked fun from the screenshots. And Mortal Kombat 1. We've got the Game Boy itself. We've got the classic Tetris, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Danganronpa, Castlevania 2, Link's Awakening, Pokemon Red the Classic, Mega Man World 5, Donkey Kong, Pokemon Blue, Contra, Pinball Deluxe, Pac-Man, Kirby's Dream Land 2, and Super Mario Land. Right guys, now we get to the 2 consoles that most replicate this form factor, and games that I'm quite frankly the most excited to play on the Thor, games in the DS and 3DS category. Let's start with DS. So we got the one I'm playing, Soul Silver. We have New Super Mario Brothers, we have Cars, Professor Layton and the Curious Village, we have Kirby Superstar, Mario Kart DS, Pokemon Heart Gold, Professor Layton on One Future, Pokemon White, Pinball Deluxe, Black Ops. I'm so curious to try Black Ops on the DS. Pokemon Diamond, Professor's Brain Trainer, again no box art, and another Professor's Brain Trainer without box art. Prince of Persia, The Fallen King, and we have Zookeeper, which was a recommendation from Ross himself from Retro Game Corp, so I can't wait to try that. And last but not least, we have the 3DS itself, which is the one that this console is replicating. And the crazy thing about the 3DS is because the 3DS is a console that I never had growing up, and there was a lot of games that came out for the 3DS. So the fact that I've now got a 3DS-esque console to play 3DS games, and also a lot more, but 3DS games, is enough incentive for me to get the Thor in the first place. We got Super Mario 3D Land, New Super Mario Bros. 2, Animal Crossing, New Leaf, Legend of Zelda 3D, Star Fox 64 3D, Zelda Majora's Mask, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Zelda A Link Between Worlds, Mario Kart 7, we've got Alpha Sapphire, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, WarioWare Gold, and Shovel Knight. Yeah guys, that's just a quick selection of the games that I have loaded up on my Thor at the moment. Again, if you guys have any suggestions or missing ones that I should have and I should play through because I missed the 3DS era, let me know for sure. I want to tinker around with this a bit more before I do like a review or full review. So yeah, be on the lookout for that guys. But see you guys in the next one.